Hi and welcome to another episode of the FYE podcast. My name is Danielle Duran and joining me today are
Maria de Ander
and Vanessa Mora.
And on this episode of the podcast, we'll be discussing budgeting. So ladies, tell me, what does budgeting mean to you?
Okay, well for me, budgeting means like organizing priorities and like obviously saving money. So like, for example, for the school year, books, saving up for books. Because in the school library, they give you options whether you can buy it or rent it, and you can buy it like used or buy it like new, but the prices are usually very high. So it's always important to check before.
Like other websites.
Find other websites like Amazon or like
check.
Yeah, checking other prices before like actually like buying it there, and just like always think, okay, I need to save money. Like I need to make sure I have this amount of money for books and stuff.
Yeah, don't feel like you need to buy all new books just because you're a freshman. Just try to save money.
And you had mentioned Chegg, right? And how exactly does that work?
Well, you type in the ISBN number, and then it gives you the if you want to buy it or rent it.
Okay, because I know I found out about Chegg when I was like a freshman. Like I had never known about Chegg. So it's like kind of like a website where you like you pay for like a. Is it like, do you pay for like a subscription though?
No. It's a free subscription.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's like a good resource, I suppose, for students.
Also the UTRGV book trades. It's like past students, they are selling or they're willing to trade for books too. Okay,
yeah, because what I would do like freshman year, I bought some books, like my science books, but I would buy them used because I want to keep them since I'm like studying for like my MCAT. I want to keep them as like a reference. So I mean, like, why buy the newest thing when you could buy something cheaper? So yeah. And why do you guys feel like budgeting is so important?
Well, I mean, overall, just like overspending is not always good. Like you think, oh, like I'm always gonna have enough. Like no, like because you're in college, you're starting again, like building up like independence. Like you can start looking for a job, getting your own money, and then you learn to save money, right?
Yes. And
so like
emergencies can happen, and you have to be ready for it.
So like for example, when I got a job last year, I started earning my own money, and since then, like I go to the mall or something or to the store, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy this. I'm like, wait, no, I need to save my money because it's my money. It's the one I'm earning, you know. So like, you get that mindset, like, okay, like I need to start saving money because this is how it's gonna be in the future.
And you,
well, like, okay, in my case, I know my car like broke down on me, so I had to get another job so I can buy another car, and then also my DACA was gonna expire, so I had to save money for that too. So I really had to manage on saving money to renew my DACA and to buy a new car because it was hard.
How about you?
Oh, for me, I would, like how I budgeted was because I get financial aid. So, very important thing for kids who do receive financial aid is like, do not blow your financial aid. Like, don't go crazy and spend everything, because sometimes like you do get like a bit of a refund. Some students don't, but I mean anything helps. So like whenever you get like a refund of like, let's say it doesn't have to be a lot, but anything you get back, you want to put that away and save it. So what I do is I put it in my account and I don't touch it. Like I try not to touch it, and I'm like, because you never know when you're gonna need it. Especially like I set aside money for like books, and then you know, because life happens, you never know.
Yeah, actually, for the spring semester, because I also received financial aid, and I got back like a good amount, and well, I saved up like going like for books, and then since I was going through the process of studying abroad, I was saving up for the program, but the plane tickets, those are not included. So with the financial aid, I was able to provide money for those tickets and help me get into like save up to go to like study abroad and like a really great experience. So like overall saving money for like greater experience like that, that's also good.
Yeah, I think that's like a good like way to like put it. And like just for like any listeners out there who do qualify for financial aid, make sure you do it ASAP because it's a first come first serve basis, and the sooner you do it, the better chances are at getting money. So just to keep an eye on that. Deadlines are so important as well because I know like for me like my classes, sometimes the professors would put like on like a little key to like buy like this website for WebAssign where you could get your books and the homework. And sometimes like the first week of class you get to do that like right away, and then you get like a discount, and I feel like that's also important in terms of like budgeting. And for you had mentioned you were saving money for like DACA.
Yes.
And could you like, I don't know if like some other students could relate to that. Would you like to share like your experience with that?
Okay, well DACA is Deferred Action for the childhood survivors. Okay, so depending on when you renew your DACA, you can get it for 2 years or 3 years. So you just have to keep an eye when it expires and stuff. Yes. Right now there's open like applications so you can renew your DACA since there's nothing like set for it for this year, so you can renew your DACA right now if you can, please. You can also visit Lupe in San Juan, or they have different like locations, and they can help you out if you don't have the money, since I know it can be expensive, but they can help you out, like there's payments and stuff.
So there's methods of helping you.
Yeah, there's methods to, so you can,
And so that also ties back into like deadlines. Make sure you get them on time, because sometimes there's late fees for certain things. And anything else?
Well, so for what I know, because we all live at home, right? But for those students who actually live on campus, I mean, budgeting is one of the main things. Especially, let's say, if you have a car and have to make payments, if your parents don't help you out, or just like getting food, like at the Walmart over here, getting groceries, saving up.
Yeah, so you can prep during the week instead of just buying fast food here on campus or around campus. That can also help. Like everybody does it. Everybody preps for lunch and brings it to school. There's microwaves around the whole school, so you can heat up your food and stuff.
Because like that's what you guys were telling me before this podcast, to meal prep, or like to prep like your meals before coming to school. So I feel like that's very useful, because like I would always spend so much on school food, and it's not always the healthiest too. But yeah, I think that's also like good advice for like students that are coming in. Like make sure like to pack like a lunch instead of having to spend for lunch on campus.
Especially if you're coming, if your schedule, if you're here like really late, or even if you're here like early, just pack a snack, pack something, bring a water bottle, container.
And like a lot of the questions students have are like, one of them is college expensive? In our like experience, how would you like describe college in terms of expenses?
I mean, I could say it's different than high school, because obviously our parents would pay for our things, and here in college it's different. I mean, you can make it, like you can pay for your books yourself. Just again, knowing when to spend.
Yes, like the transportation is also different. Like you can't go on, like there's buses available, but you mostly have to drive around with your car. Like gas can be expensive too at times.
And also, I mean, sometimes the library aids with like $1 notebooks, and like sometimes in events they give out free stuff, free paper, free pencils, free shirts. So going to these events also can help you look more into like the university and what they can do to help.
Yeah, because like, so overall, we would kind of describe college as kind of expensive, but UTRGV has like, is sometimes a little bit cheaper than other universities.
It's manageable.
Yeah,
Like, you
it's
can manage it,
manageable.
yes.
But so for some students, they pick up jobs. So, you know, you guys are working. I believe so. That's what you guys had mentioned before.
Yes.
And also, there's like ways to like be able to afford college. Like I know they have like I think a food pantry for like some students who aren't able to afford like meals. I think on Thursday they have like
the free lunch.
yeah, there's like a free lunch thing that they allow for students on Thursdays. You see them walking around passing out cards for that. And I know also for like classes, if you take over 12 hours, like 15 or I think 15
Yeah,
12
I think
hours, it's free. The hours
It's free.
after are free. So that's what I do. I take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So that way I won't have to be paying for those later on in the year. So I guess there's like ways of being able to afford college. Of course, you could also like apply to financial aid, like
Get
you mentioned.
loans as well.
Loans.
And scholarships.
Scholarships.
There's always scholarships. So even if like you think, oh, it's already too late, there's always like scholarships going on throughout the year, and you never know, you might find other types of scholarships outside of the school that you could apply to.
Yes, and they're not too complicated. Like they're you just have to fill out the information.
Yeah, you go to the U Central and you ask there for information of what you're looking for, and then they can help you out.
And I know that one thing kids, like I hear that kids need to be careful with is be careful with credit cards. Because I don't really have a credit card, so I really don't know how that works. But like, I hear a lot of people like open their credit cards to be able to pay things, and having to keep up with credit cards is kind of like a hassle. So do you guys have like any
I do
experience
have
with
a
that?
credit card with Discover. It's a student credit account. But I don't really use it. I kind of just use it for like gas, and then right away I pay it, but just gas because then knowing that you have money in that card, then you just want to swipe. So don't don't do that. Just for like emergencies or something important.
So what advice would you offer to students when they have a credit card?
Yeah,
Or in terms of like opening it up, or
well. For that one, it's like you don't have interest since you're a student, but once you graduate, you're gonna have to apply for it again because you're not a student anymore. So now you have to pay interest if you want to apply again. Once you graduate, you don't have to apply again. You can just end the credit card there. But also, like I know, I like Discover because whenever a semester finishes, and you turn in your grades for every A, they give you $50. So that's good.
It's like a student credit
Like
card.
it's a student credit card. Yeah, you just have to provide like information about where you study and like I guess your transcript and stuff like that.
But there's also like sometimes students don't always like pay right away. Like when you use your credit card, you have to like pay back kind of.
Yes.
What happens when you don't? Like, what are the bad things of credit cards?
Well, the one I have doesn't have like interest, so. You don't have to.
That's like a good thing,
but
right?
if you have one that has interest, then it goes up, and then you're gonna end up paying more than what you used.
Yes. Oh, okay, I see. So just.
So we're gonna edit this out.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's like about a very specific credit card. You want to be like more general. So saying that you look for cards that benefit you based on rewards. Like there's some that do give cash back on gas, on food, and kind of. A general, I think, idea you want to tell the students is that treat it like a debit card. Don't be spending money you don't have.
I mean, I don't have a credit card, but I mean, obviously, looking at Discovery or other options as well. One that like benefits me depending on like what type of credit card I need, or like for me, I have a debit card, so like that's my money, and like I guess treating your debit card like credit card, it's around the same, like, or vice versa. Like think of it as money, like it's your money, like saving it up and everything. So.
Like don't spend what you don't have. In other words, like you don't want to get carried away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I know I have a debit card as well. That's what I use.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not like cash, like money, like physical paper money. So I kind of sometimes I get a little carried away because you can't see like you can, $12, not a lot, swipe, and then you get carried away. So like what I would recommend to students is kind of like, if you don't need it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Try not to need things. Like try not to need so much. Or like with me, like it's like, oh, I need pencils, and then like you get carried away like, these are good. Like, you know, you just want to like start spending because you can't really see like the money you have. So like I just recommend like don't get carried away with spending. Just know that with every swipe you're losing money in your account. Because like I get carried away, and I know I do. So what I would do is like maybe put like a weekly budget, or allow yourself to spend only on like this certain amount of things or a certain amount of money. And you might want to like put like little goals, like, oh, don't spend this much, and if you exceed your little budget, like no,
it's less next week.
Yeah.
And like if you work, save, like move some money into like a jar or something, or it's like, okay, I'm saving up this every week. If you get weekly checks or something, just to have something, and like every week, if you keep doing it, it keeps saving up and up and up and up, and you start saving money for other things that you may need or want in the future.
Yeah, I would also say to carry cash, because sometimes like the credit or debit cards here are not working, so I guess having cash is good too.
Yeah, just like manage how you spend.
And knowing that you have cash in your pocket, like just have strength. That's what you're saying. I know sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna get like some chips or something, and like end up wasting like $5.
Yeah, so just like the overall message that we have for like first year students. So I know we talked about like, is college expensive, but there are ways of being able to manage college. There are jobs, just saving, finding, not spending like so much on textbooks, or if you could rent them. There's like ways of being able to afford college.
Yes.
So don't let it discourage you from like either not coming to college or not taking like the full amount of hours that you would want. And is there any advice you would like to offer to like students, or like overall last messages you'd like to offer students that are coming in?
I mean, if they have questions, they should go to the U Central, ask for the financial aid advisors, and they can help you out. Yeah. Like I'm planning on doing that as well. Like this, like starting the first week, or like later on, but it helps a lot.
And so deadlines are important. I know you have like try to have everything ready before it's due. Like the financial aid, like you mentioned.
And my last, probably like my advice would be to don't be afraid to ask for help. You never know who like knows like from their own experiences or what resources someone else may have. But always like don't be afraid to ask people for help, or to ask like, what are your resources? Because we may know this, but there might be other resources that we don't know as well. So that concludes today's podcast on budgeting. Thank you for coming.